If I may interrupt, I think we will, Catherine, are we good to go? We are, okay. I'd like to welcome you all to the County of Newell Municipal Planning Commission meeting for March the 20th, 2025. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And we have a few empty chairs this morning. Could I get an excused from somebody for Neil Johnson and Dan Short, please? And Adina, yes. Amanda moves to excuse those three councillors. All in favor of Amanda's motion? That is carried. Minutes. The minutes are in our package. Any questions, comments? How would you like to handle them? Go ahead, Lynette.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. All in favor of Lynette's motion? That is carried. Are there any post-agenda items from staff? Any from MPC? Seeing none, a motion to accept the agenda, please. Okay. All in favor of Greg's motion, please? That is carried. Development permit 6.1. Shannalee.
Thank you. Development permit 2024062 is for the operation of an industrial logistics business, specifically a long-haul trucking company, and it's located in the Evergreen subdivision. There is an error on my report. It's Division 10, not Division 7. The logistics business will include a dispatch office, which has been approved, and truck repair and storage. There will be approximately 10 employees and 20 truck and trailer units on the parcel. The applicants are expecting 5 trips in and out of the parcel each day. The buildings that are being utilized for the business were approved on previous development permits. Outdoor storage will consist of the parking of the trucks and the trailers. We are recommending Municipal Planning Commission approve the application as it is compatible with the existing uses in the Evergreen subdivision. And Amandeep Bueller is the applicant, and he's here to respond to questions.
Thank you, Shannalee. Just as you're getting in place, sir, we'll go around the table and do introductions. Please start with Amanda.
Good morning, Amanda Philpott, District 8 around Dutchess.
Good morning, Ellen Undra, and I represent District 7 around the village of Rosemary.
Good morning and welcome. Greg Screever, Division 5, Lake Newell Resort and Castles area.
And again, I'm Kelly Chrisman, and I'm from the northwest side of the county, Division 6.
Good morning, Arno Dirksen, welcome, from the GEM area.
Welcome, Matt Fensky, Chief Administrative Officer.
Good morning, Holly Johnson from the south. I represent the areas of Scandia, Rainier, and Bow City.
Good morning. I'm Lynette Kopp. I'm Division 3, which is Patricia Millicent area.
Catherine Siaklik, Communications Officer.
Cheryl Page, Planning and Development Administrative Assistant.
I'm Jeff Tiffin. I manage the Planning, Development, and Engineering Department.
Good morning, all. My name is Amandeep, and we are a transport company, right? And we run a 55 truck, and we have a yard. We have a 2 business, right? Another business is in Regina, ATL Heavy Haul, and I'm not transport, right? We haul, right? Mostly long haul, right? And we are specialized in flat deck, right? And because we live in Regina before, right? And Calgary, right? And both is trouble place, right? And like Calgary is expensive and like every day, right? Stealing stuff, right? And we start, right? With the JBS, we are already working, right? With transportation, right? And we start refurb work right from here, and that's why we choose right this place, and we bought that property, and I hope right we can move all truck here, right? And if we have a more employee here, and we start my whole business from here, right?
Great. Well, welcome to the community, Shannalee.
I just wanted to mention that in the circulations, it was circulated to the City of Brooks IDP Committee, and they had no issues or concerns, and there was no issues or concerns from adjacent landowners.
Thank you, Shannalee. Are there any questions? Holly?
So right now, the property, the size of it, how many trucks could you park at that lot if it was like maximum?
A maximum, we start 20, right? 20 truck and trailers, yeah. And it's in the future, right? And how we get it more business, right, from JBS or our another customer. And another thing, and if we find, right, more driver here, right, then we start more, right? And we will update, right, to county as well. It's depending on driver and like mechanic and staff, right, and how we can find it here, right? That's big thing.
Any other questions? Does this require circulation, Shannalee? Okay, thank you. I see the approval is effective after circulation. Thank you. How do you wish to handle this, MPC? Great.
Well, I just want to say welcome, and I'm really excited that you chose the area here for your business. I think it's a smart choice, and I think you'll enjoy it here for sure, and your employees. I'd like to move this recommendation number 1.
Option 1?
Yeah.
Okay, that's with conditions outlined. Any other questions, comments? All in favor of Greg's motion? That is carried. Thank you so much, and again, welcome to the community. We wish you well.
Thank you very much.
Carrying on, there were no post-agenda items. Any reason for in-camera conversation? Okay. Carrying on, question period. Any questions in the queue, Catherine? None. I will adjourn this MPC meeting.
Catherine? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We will call this meeting to order, March 20th, 2025. We have 3 people who will be excused from the meeting. I know that Neil intends to get here probably around 1 o'clock, and I think Adina and Dan will be absent today. So do we have a motion to excuse them? Thanks, Kelly. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Minutes of our March 6th meeting have been circulated. Are there any errors or omissions, or alternatively a motion to approve as presented? Holly, please.
I will move to approve as presented.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Call for post-agenda items. Is there anything to add to the agenda this morning? Seeing nothing, is there someone prepared to move the adoption of the agenda as circulated? Amanda?
I'll adopt the agenda.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Are there any questions in the electronic media at all, Catherine? Anyone have a notice of motion this morning? Seeing none, we'll move on to bylaws. Number 7.1, bylaw 2093-25, the traffic bylaw, second and third reading. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Council. Here seeking second and third reading of the traffic bylaw with the amendment for permitting school buses to be parked on private property within hamlets. One thing that you would not have received in the RFD is the comments received from the public. So there were 8 responses to the call for feedback. Highlight a couple of them for you. It's pivotal to supporting the bus driving profession. Hard enough to get bus drivers as it is, so we need to eliminate as many roadblocks as possible. I have one parked across the street from me and it poses no problems for me or my household. Yes, allow them to be parked in hamlets. I'll just give you 3 out of the 8 anyway. So there was no opposition received to the matter. So looking for council's direction and hopeful reading of second and third.
Thank you, Mark. Are there any questions or comments? Alternatively, a motion that we approve second reading. Go ahead, Ellen, please.
I'd like to make a motion to give second reading to bylaw 2093-25.
Thank you for that. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. And similarly, third reading. Holly, please.
I'll move third reading.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Painless. Thanks, Mark. Let's move on to item number 7.2, the bylaw 2096-25 for the special tax for the Eastern Irrigation District. We will look for 3 readings today if that's approved. Welcome.
Thanks. So this one is one we do every year. The EID sends us the list of all of the lots within the subdivisions. We apply it on those rolls and collect those funds and send it over to the EID. And the number of properties didn't change this year. In the last few years, we're still at 411.
Thank you, Shannon. Are there any questions? Seeing none, does someone prepared to move first reading? Kelly, please. All in favor that we pass first reading for this special tax bylaw? That's carried. Thank you. Similarly, second reading. Greg?
I'll move second reading.
All in favor, please indicate. And then because we're considering third reading on the same day, is there consent to call for third reading? Lynette moves.
I'll make a motion for consent to third reading.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Now, if someone will be prepared to move third reading. Go ahead, Ellen. Thank you.
I'd like to make the motion for third reading.
All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Let's move on. Bylaw 2097-25, the Rolling Hills similarly. Thanks, Shannon.
Yes, this one is the raw water irrigation system, the funding of it for the hamlet. Yeah, same as last year. Everything stays the same for the levies. I reached out to the community members, and they are happy with where we're at on that one.
Great, thank you. Any questions or a motion for first reading? Holly, please.
I'll make a motion for first reading.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. Second reading? Go ahead, Amanda.
I'll make that motion for second reading.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. And similarly, we need consent for third reading today. Kelly, please. All in favor to give consent to third reading? That's carried. Thank you. Someone prepared to move third reading? Greg, please.
I'll move third reading.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. This feels routine. That's good. Okay, thank you. Let's go on to 7.4, bylaw 2098-25, special tax for Scandia irrigation.
Yeah, these ones are my favorite because they're very simple. So this one's Scandia Raw Water, same thing. Reach out to community members. They want everything to stay the same for this year, and it just funds their program.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments? Or someone, go ahead, Holly.
Since it's Scandia, I'm going to motion this first reading.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Someone prepared to move second reading? Go ahead, Amanda.
I'll move for second reading.
Thank you. All in favor? It's carried. And similarly, consent for third reading. Ellen?
I'll move for consent for third reading.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. And someone prepared to move third reading. Lynette, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Thanks, Shannon. Move on to Ag Service Board. Yep. We'll skip over 8.1 and move to number 9, Ag Service Business, and I'll introduce and welcome Mr. Todd Green. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. All right, so I'm assuming this is such a wonderful report. You all read it just before bed last night. So I'll just touch on some of the highlights. We've talked about a few of these things before, so it's nothing really out of the ordinary. But our gopher control programs are operating right now. As we see more and more, we're hoping to see less and less. But we do feel like we're only a few sunny days away from not knowing where all the gophers came from. So some of our areas that receive high populations hopefully have less by the time it comes to breeding season for them. Very slow rental period this year. I had to delete a lot from last year's report when I was updating my numbers. So only one raccoon trap rental, which is fantastic. That means that either we've sold enough traps that we don't have to help people with rentals, or that we don't have any skunks and raccoon problems. So that's positive. And then 2 whole scale rentals. Oddly enough, when the scale was going up the 36 highway to one of our wonderful producers, another one of our wonderful producers reached out to see when that one was for sale, because it looked like it was in such good shape. And unfortunately for replacing that unit, we will never replace that unit. They don't make them anymore, and nobody makes them anymore. So we could continue to refurbish that one as time goes on. But on a good news front, we had a great hiring season. We're excited to have some new faces in the crew and a great mix of returning staff as well. So I think it's almost 50-50 for new to returning, which I don't know if that's the perfect percentage, but it's a percentage, and that's what we're moving forward with. We have done a ton of environmental farm plans. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but in comparison to typical years where it's like 3 or 4, 12 is a lot. Austin did go up last Friday or Thursday. I don't know which day it was, one of those days, and helped CARA, the Chinook Applied Research Association. They were putting on a multi-producer environmental farm plan session. We have not done one of those since early 2000s. And so I thought it was a good opportunity for him to learn, and they needed some extra help. So he went up there, he did that. He thought it was well done, but he kind of felt like there might be more personalized benefits if we do it one-on-one. So anyways, if we have a whole bunch of people that want to do it at one time, he said we can do it, but in general, the one-on-one seems to work. Emerson's already ripping. We had those few warm days, and it was like, okay, I guess it's time to get Emerson going. So that's exciting times. I think we've talked a little bit before, but we're revamping our showers. They needed some new skin on the inside, which we thought would be a super easy project, and it turned out to be horrible. The contractor that put the skins on beginning made them so that they would not be removed very easily, and he did a great job of that. So frustratingly, it takes about a full day per shower to take those things off. and that is way more time than we had anticipated, but that's for another day. Richard and Faye will be back for this camping season. And yeah, in general, you know, when we kind of took over operations of the park in like 08, 09, it was daunting. Everything was a struggle. Everything was tough. And now it's just part of the things that we just love to do in Ag Services. So we're really happy with the park. The EID Partners in Habitat Development Program is going again. I believe Dan has 7 or 8 new projects to do, as well as maintaining the ones from last year and the year before. And then we've been working with Brooks Fish and Game on some of their habitat projects, and we're excited to still do that. An update since I wrote this report, guys, the Tree and Health Maintenance Workshop is our second best ever. So about 15 years ago, we put on a coyote information night. We had 130 participants. We had to book like the whole Heritage Inn. It was amazing. We have 70 people registered to learn about tree and health, or tree maintenance and health next week. Oh my dear Lord. Okay, so an update again. 80 people. And we're hoping well, we are not just hoping, but we're doing it at CDC in the Griffin building. We spent yesterday doing a bunch of cleaning, and Austin is out there again, scrubbing toilets. Love the kid. He you ask him and he's doing it. So anyways, that's where he's at. He's excited to be there, and we're hopeful for a very good day. So I think maybe potentially some people want to see the site, which I think is fantastic, but also just the great information that we're going to learn. So still second best at 80, Catherine, but yeah, that's a lot of people, a lot of sandwiches. And yeah, and just to touch a little bit on the CDC project, it has consumed a ton of time. We are excited about it still, though. Met with amazing potential users, contractors. The people on site that still work there are phenomenal, and they've just been helping us through the process. Lots of positive responses and community engagement, and still more to come. Final push, though. Next week, that's all we got, and then the day-to-day operations are ours. So we have a handoff meeting on the 30th, which is the Monday, or the 30th? Anyways, whatever the heck day it is. The Monday before, get the keys and move forward. What else we got here? I don't know. We continue to learn so much about that site every time we're out there. We did get our first actual money offer. So somebody wants to rent a good chunk of land from us, 113 acres, which is a really big chunk, and that pushes our potential occupancy up, closer to our target of 80%. So we'll be at about that 40-45% by the time we're done this week. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. That's kind of what I have going. I know not all of it is like ag services related, but it's what we're doing. So.
Sounds great. Thank you, Todd. Are there any questions? I have a comment, but go ahead, Lynette.
Is the EID and the Fish and Game doing a tree planting again this year?
Yeah, they are. And the date's going to escape me. It's middle of May. I believe there's another 300 potted plants they're going to be putting in. And I'll send you guys that information if anybody is interested in doing it. Do you mean the one at the aqueduct? Or just in general?
Just wherever they were going to do one, you know, the more time you can give people, you know, sometimes so that they put it in their schedule.
Absolutely, yeah. Rod Rosland is the head of that project, and I know he sent me the date, and it's either the 15th or the 17th, so saying it out loud is dangerous, but I will forward that email to you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Holly.
So Todd, with CDC South, is it, before Austin ended up doing the cleaning job, was it mostly just your time from the Ag Services team working out there?
Yeah, in general, between Candace and myself, we've been taking the lion's share of the work out there. We've had, when it came down to some technical stuff, we've had Joe helping us get some quotes on some of the capital upgrades that need to be done out there.
Do you feel once the renting season is completed that your time will decrease minimally, substantially? What's your guess?
Oh boy. Just say no. I don't know. I think the first year of any project is hectic, and it takes probably 3 years to get it under your belt where it just kind of all rolls and it makes sense and something comes in and you know what to do. It's not something you have to think about. It's not something you have to research. It just kind of flows. So I think 2025 is going to be an amazing year, but it's going to be busy. It's a good thing we have a great team.
Thanks, Todd. I want to pass on. We were in Edmonton this week, as you know, and happened to meet at least 3 people who commented on CDC South, including the minister, and excited about both the partnership there with the county and also the team that has been assembled to operate the site. So that's credit to everyone involved at the county here, and I pass that on to your crew as that's appropriate, because I was pleased to hear it, and also the minister was very complimentary about the opportunity for the kind of partnership that we're developing being a model for some other things in the future. So I don't know what that means, but it's positive. So that's a shot in the arm for you and your team for sure. It's great. Thank you. Go ahead, Holly.
He's also looking forward and coming to see it when it's all pretty and green. So he told me. Anyway, my other question was environmental farm plans. Do you have any idea of what percentage of farms in the area have them completed? Be like at 50%, or you really have no idea?
No, we would maybe 10%. I think we have north of 800 farms, registered farms in the county of Newell, and I don't know that we have 80 that are still, because the rules changed. It used to be a one and done, and now it has to be redone every 10 years. And to be fair, a lot of things change every 10 years, so it's not bad to go and relook at things. But the current farm plans, I don't even know if we'd be at 10%. Mm-hmm. So you could see where there might be a lot of work. Yep. Yep.
Go ahead, Amanda, please.
Todd, I love your enthusiasm. I'm not sure what an environmental farm plan is. Can you explain that to me?
I would love to. I would.
It makes things grow.
The environmental farm plan is just kind of it's an aerial view of your farm from an environmental liability lens. So it takes into consideration where your water sources are, where your septic sources are, where your maybe if you have livestock, where your livestock yards are and how they drain, or how the potential environmental impacts could be. It's not a checklist of things that need to be done. It's just an outline of potential projects that could be done. So if you have time, or if somebody runs into time and money, or time or money, or money and whatever, there's a list of things that could be upgraded. What I find going through them, the easy wins are there, and a lot of guys just change them. And when I'm sitting at a producer's table or they're in my office, I have to explain to them, because we often get, so the environmental farm plan, you go through each liability or potential liability, and there's a rating scale, 1 to 4. And we give a lot of 1s and 2s, and guys will be sitting there going, well, this can't be right. I have to have more liabilities. And I have to explain to them, the producers in our county are top notch. Like absolutely top notch. I can pick maybe 5 people that I could say there's some potential liabilities there. It's just, I think it's the intensity of irrigated agriculture. It's the longevity of our producers here. They're just, it's not that difficult of a process for them. And so yeah, but anyways, yeah, so it's kind of a holistic look at your operation just from an environmental lens, not a monetary lens, not anything else, just environmental liability.
Is there a cost for that?
No, there's not. Agri-Invest made it a requirement to do an environmental liability assessment on your operation. If you have a gross income of a certain amount, I think it might even be $1 million. I don't know, I didn't get that letter for my operation, but I think some people did. So, and $1 million in gross revenue is, it's a good target for a lot, it's an easy target for a lot of guys in our county. So they've had to do it for that responsibility.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Todd. And is someone prepared to make a motion to accept the Ag Fieldman's report as presented? Go ahead.
I'll move acceptance of Todd's report.
Thank you. All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. That's great. Thanks, Todd. Let's move on to 10.1. Yep. Appointment of fire guardians. Go ahead, Matt, please.
Yeah, so just getting back from 3 days of RMA. We're taking it easy on you today. A lot of routine things that need to be in the books, and that's what this motion here about appointing fire guardians is all about. I'm not going to read it. Council's had the opportunity to see the names and where they're at. We're really looking for the motion that council approves the motion as presented.
Go ahead, Lynette.
I will make that motion as presented.
Thank you. Motion to appoint fire guardians. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Let's move on to number 10.2, policy review for policy 064-25, recognition of volunteer service. Go ahead, Matt, please.
So apparently I wasn't smart enough to take it easy on myself after three days at RMA, but these are relatively straightforward policies. We've gone through the review at the administrative level on the recognition of volunteer service, and do want to give a shout out to all of the excellent volunteers that we have in the region. They grease the wheels of delivering valuable services to our ratepayers. I think of all the ag societies out there. Go down the list. Suggested edits here, a bit of formatting, grammar changes, bumping up that gift amount for the gift card from $25 to $50. That's not going to break the bank. And updating the committee list and adding the roles and responsibilities section to the policy. So looking for the policy to be approved as presented, but we're open to feedback as always from council.
Thanks, Matt. Are there any questions or a motion to approve the policy as presented? Go ahead, Ellen, please.
Yeah, I'd like to make the motion to approve option 1, the policy.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Let's move to 10.2.2, the policy 065-25, Staff Relations Committee. Go ahead, Matt, please.
Yeah, again here, I have to give a shout out to our Staff Relations Committee as it is comprised today, as well as the Staff Relations Committee that I have benefited from as an employee of the organization. They do a lot of great work when it comes to organizing activities, breaking down barriers, breaking down silos between departments. It's a great little committee that punches well above its weight. If you've ever been the beneficiary of a county campout, a barbecue, road trip to Rosebud, skiing, whitewater rafting, there has been a host of activities over the years for team building. If you've ever received flowers on bereavement loss, this is the team that gets that work done. So we've made a few minor changes here, shifting the responsibility for appointing committee members to a management team, just so we've got a line of sight that we do have a good cross-section from each department around the table there, putting a term of 2 years in there, looking for the policy to be approved as presented.
Thanks, Matt. Are there questions or a motion to approve the policy as presented? Go ahead, Kelly, please.
Yeah, I'll move acceptance of this policy
Thank
as
you.
presented.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried as well. Let's move on to policy number 066-25, responding to service requests and feedback. Go ahead, Matt.
All right, so we've had our friend Jeff Mowat in-house a few times. He's coming back this April, and that's the lens that we looked through when we were looking to update this policy. Previous policy was labeled responding to concerns and complaints. We thought, that has something of a negative connotation. I think we can reorient our view that everything that comes in from the public is either a service request, which we're here to serve, or feedback. And feedback is a good thing because it helps us improve. So that's one of the changes there. We've rearranged a lot. I'm a big fan of pulling things out of policy if it's not like a policy option. So you'll see we've shrunk the policy, I think, from 6 pages previously to 2 pages today. Yeah, open to feedback on this one, but looking for the policy to be approved.
Thank you, and I will also compliment you on I read through that. That's impressive, I think. I think that continues to build character and culture in the organization, which I appreciate. It wasn't fixing anything that was broken, but I think it really sets a tone for encouraging people to basically help us make our service better, right? And I appreciate the way that that's set up. Is there any other questions, comments, or a motion to approve as presented? Go ahead, Holly.
I also appreciate the tone of it, the positive. I have a question under nuisance and unsightly property service requests. It says it needs to be submitted in writing, and I'm wondering if there needs to be a clarification if the name of the person submitting is released or not released to the complainant, because I believe that could be an issue for sometimes.
The name is not released. And we could put it in here as part of your FOIP legislation. We would not release that. So this is a good example of if you have a policy option to make. So if you could choose to release the complainant's name, we would bake that into the policy here. But as that's taken care of at a higher level of legislation, we try not to duplicate what's already in legislation in our own internal policies. But it may be useful to put the amendment in there for folks who might not refer to the FOIP Act when we go. So that's a good amendment.
Okay, so go ahead, Holly.
I'd like to move this policy then with that amendment.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Moving on to 10.2.4, Policy 067-25, Public Participation and Communication.
All right, again, we do like to participate with the public. I think we had a pretty great example of that this morning from our Director of Municipal Services, sharing some of the feedback that comes from our public. And it was positive feedback for the change. So it's not always folks who are opposed to things. We also like to hear from the community when you support an initiative. It makes it a lot easier around the council table to come to a determination. Here for this policy, again, grammatical formatting changes, removing statements from the policy which do not represent a policy choice, updating the policy review provisions as they're set out in Alberta Regulation 193/2017, and adding a new section when we actually consider public participation as a corporation. And we did replace the snapshot of the IAP2 spectrum of public participation in Schedule A just to improve the readability. The last one was a little fuzzy to read.
Thanks, Matt. Are there any questions, comments, or a motion to approve the policy as presented? Lynette, please. Oh, Holly has a question. We have a motion to approve. Go ahead, Holly.
I was just wondering the process then, if like somebody sent a letter in, is this the process it kind of would fall under for how it's dealt with, and what would that process be?
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so depending on the content of the letter, you know, we would either reach out via email, phone call, send a paper letter back through the mail. But we need to close the loop, is what this policy is stating to county administration. Let's not leave our ratepayers hanging when we receive any kind of feedback or service request that's been initiated on their end.
Excellent. Thanks, Matt. So we have a motion to approve this as presented. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Moving on, policy 065-25, marketing and promotional items. Oh, Director of Agriculture Services. Huh? Ariana, you're going to take it?
It could be me. I was really hoping Todd would do this one.
Oh.
So this is a new policy. We get requests for marketing and promotional items from time to time, and we didn't really have any guidelines. So Todd developed most of the policy, so I'll give him credit for that. It's guidelines for how we receive requests, how we order items, things like that.
Thank you, Ariana. Are there any questions or comments? Or a motion to approve as presented? Sorry? Question?
Just wondering where this is funded from, what budget line it comes out of.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, so there are several public relations budget lines throughout each, or across the corporation. So each department will have a public relations line, including council. So depending on who's asking and for what, will determine where that hits the accounting records.
Okay, thank you. Greg, please.
I'd like to make the motion to approve.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, all in favor, please indicate. That is carried as well. Thank you. (10.3) FCM Conference 2025, select an alternate delegate. Ariana, please.
This is me. So the FCM conference, we were to send 2 people this year, Kelly and Amanda. Amanda is unable to go. The dates are May 29th to June 1st. I booked the hotel rooms because that's the hardest part. So hotel rooms have been secured. We do pay a one-night deposit if we have to cancel it, so that's not a big deal. So if you don't select an alternate, that's fine. If more than one people want to go, Matt has some names to put in a hat to draw from.
Oh, thank you, Ariana. Go ahead, Kelly. Or Holly, I mean. Sorry, Kelly.
Given the cost and the fact that everyone has gone to an FCM conference in the last years, the exception of Amanda, who can't go, I don't believe we should appoint somebody else. It's actually quite expensive with a registration of $1,200 or $1,100, I guess, is early bird. That's quite a lot of money, plus flights.
Okay, that's perspective. Anyone else have comments? I think a conference like this it's nice to go with a colleague when there's an opportunity to do that. So I don't personally have a problem with another person being able to go if that's council's wish as well. But any other perspectives? Go ahead, Lynette, please.
I also think that it's nice to go with someone, to not be there by yourself. Do we have anyone who would volunteer to go? I've been thinking about it, but hadn't decided yet.
Okay, no, that's a good question. You would consider attending? Okay, anyone else or other opinions? I would agree, as I've indicated, that it's nice to go with a colleague.
Make sure the other one shows up.
That's not why. At least I don't worry about that, but go ahead, Ellen.
Although from experience, I think when one goes by themselves, you meet a lot more people because you're sort of forced. and you join other councillors from different regions. And anyway, just my 2 bits here.
Okay, thank you. That's an opinion. I'm looking for direction. Lynette would be willing to go if council appoints you to go? Sure, you would have that, yeah. Anyone have direction for us? Pardon me? Sorry.
We'd have to vote if we're going to send someone or not, right? So.
Yeah, I think we do. The question before us is whether we send an alternate for Amanda who's not going. We can table it till the first. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Well, I'd like to make the motion to send an alternate. Then it's on the books, and we can, and then Lynette can decide whether she wants to go or someone else would like to go. I know we don't have a number of councillors here, so there may be someone else that may be interested also if you didn't want to. So I'd like to make that a motion.
Okay, thank you. We've got a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? We've had alternate viewpoints presented. Ready for the question? All in favor of the motion that we send an alternate to 2 people to FCM? Opposed? Thank you. That is carried. Okay. So are we good? We can deal with the specifics in the next few days. Thank you. We are Terry, please. Welcome. What are we at? Okay, yeah, that's right. Right. Terry, welcome.
Good to go. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
I'm teed up again. Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Go, no go.
Either was I. So go ahead.
Anyway, I'm just here this morning to just update another policy and rescind an old one. So I believe you've all had a copy of it or seen it. Kind of hijacked one of Ag Services policy and just added municipal services policy that we had just for use of equipment. It's at the bottom there too. So little cleaned it up a bit. So it's more like a county policy rather than having 2 separate ones. So pretty straightforward, not too many changes other than names. Don't ask me any questions about the ag side of it. Todd will have my back if we need him. And then other than us just identifying that we don't rent out any equipment unless it's a partner or another municipal or government, and we have agreements for them and we'll rent it out. Done it a couple times with a snow blower. I think in special areas was in trouble with snow one year. We rent out a snow blower to them. Doesn't happen very often. Right. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Are there questions? Anyone have questions or a motion to approve the policy as presented? Lynette, please.
I'll make the motion to accept the policy as presented.
And then also to rescind, sorry.
Yes, and rescind the old policy.
And
correct?
rescind the old
Yeah,
policy.
That's right, yeah. I appreciate that. We don't pile them up. We get rid of them as we make them. That's good. Okay, all in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's take 5 minutes and then we'll come back and do committee reports, eh? Does that work for everybody? Yep. Okay. Thank you. Convene, seeing everyone in the room. And we'll move back to 8.1. Jeff, you have an introduction to make and engineering support. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. I am very excited to finally be here in front of you with a position that was approved through the 2025 budget, and actually probably previous to that a little bit at the end of 2024, we finally found a great candidate to join our team. This is Roxanne Ayette. She lives in the county, and she brings a wonderful amount of experience, and really looking forward to diving headfirst in. She's been with us for 1 week here today, so this has been a really hectic week and a lot of information in, and hopefully digesting it well, and she's really excited to learn and become part of the process here. So I'll let Roxanne introduce herself.
Great, thank you. Welcome, Roxanne. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll introduce ourselves after that. Go ahead.
Okay, well, it's nice to meet you guys. So like you said, my name's Roxanne Ayette. I've been in the construction industry for about 14 years, 11 years as a civil engineering technologist and a project coordinator. My experience ranges from water and sewer to pipeline and road construction, most recently with ACON in Medicine Hat. I'm very eager to learn and grow in this new position as the engineering supervisor with the county.
Welcome. That's great to hear, and welcome to the county. And we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Arno Dirksen, Reeve of the County, and I'm from the GEM area north of Division 9. So go ahead, Amanda.
Well, welcome, Roxanne. It's nice to see you here today. Amanda Philpott, Division 8, around Dutchess.
Good morning and welcome. Ellen Unra, and I represent the countryside around the village of Rosemary.
Good morning and welcome to the county, and I'm your Division 5 counselor, so Lake Newell Resort and Castles area.
Good morning. I'm Kelly Chrisman, and I'm from the northwest side of the county, Division 6.
Matt.
Hello again, Holly Johnson. I'm from the south, Scandia Rainier and Bow City, Division 4.
Hi, and welcome. I am Lynette Kopp, Division 3, which is Patricia Millicent area.
It was great meeting you guys.
Yes, welcome. Okay, we are up to committee reports. We have a number of them. Let's start, and one of the things that we will include is just an update with regard to RMA from yesterday. Sandra was asking some questions, so we'll maybe take that at the end of committee reports if you're good with that, and if you've got questions, we're happy to try to answer them, yeah. First of all, Grasslands Regional FCSS. Ollie.
Just want to report on the Citizen of the Year. So as we might have said previously, this was our last Citizen of the Year format we're going to use. We took applications for Citizen of the Year, and we had 4 applicants for that, or 4 nominations, I should say, for that award. And the winner was Carolyn Hendrickson, who is a very long-time volunteer with 4-H in the area, as well as the Patricia community. Very deserving award winner. So she will be honored along with the other nominees at the awards banquet, which is May 16th at the Heritage Inn. Tickets are $20 each, and you can get them at the office. You can just call in e-trans for whatever you'd like. We also had 3 applicants for Junior Citizen of the Year, and actually all 3 applicants were from the county. There weren't any applicants from the city, and all 3 of them will be honored as well. The Junior Citizen of the Year is Presley Dick from Rosemary. And I think that's all I have to say about FCSS. Oh, we also had our strategic planning which we did on a Saturday for about 3 hours. And we had some really good discussions about where we'd like to see FCS go, and some very just, we learned some things that we didn't know, didn't we, Amanda? Just some, there's a lot of interesting information in the world you can learn.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, let's move on to joint services. Kelly?
I didn't write up a report, so I'll just give a verbal one. We heard from Nicole Nichols at our last meeting, which was last week, March the 11th, and she is with Southeast Alberta, Community Foundation in Southeastern Alberta, and they are taking applications. They have a spring grant funding program and a fall. And she announced that they have $48,000 to give away to this area. That's correct. They have $48,000 to give away, and as of last week, they had $85,000 worth of applications. So they're experiencing a shortfall. They did give us a letter asking us for donation, and love to have that conversation with you at some point. We did hear from RPAP, and I'm not sure if you received their emails, but there are some online free seminars. Do you receive RPAP emails in your, yes, okay. Some of you do, some don't. I don't have details of each seminar in front of me, but, and then I wrote down notes about PV Mart. There's 24,000 square feet available for rent, if you know of anybody that is looking for a large retail spot. Anything else, Greg, that you want to add from Joint Services or Lynette? It was a very light meeting. Yeah, Matt gave us an update on the terms of reference, and that is slowly moving along, but all right, that's it for Joint Services.
Okay, thank you. Rec boards, Division 3 and 4. Who's giving that report, those reports? Lynette, go ahead.
I'm Division 3. We changed up the Division 3 Rec Board, the way it's being run. The Ag Society has taken over the distribution of the funds, I guess. So there should be a notice in the paper this week or next week looking for applications if there's somebody in those areas that needs funding for something. That's it for Division 3.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? You got the Recycling Association of Alberta as well? Do you want to give that report right away too?
Okay, I can continue.
Yeah, you went to the conference, right?
Yes, we went to Recycling Council of Alberta conference where Ray Juska, our representative for Sewa, was there. He was part of a debate with so they had two of them on Ray's side with the energy to waste facilities, and then two ladies that were against that, I guess. So it was a debate. That's how you would describe it. And they just kind of went back and forth with asking each other questions is basically how it worked. And Ray knows everything that's gone on with Sewa. So it was like, they had all the information on both sides. There was definitely not an agreement at the end of the debate. Everything that, how could I say it? The circular economy concept wants there to be no waste. So that's their argument against the waste to energy, because there's still waste there and they're still disposing of waste. But it's on a much smaller scale. So I feel like some of the circular economy ideas are going to be extremely hard to implement. And like, I guess that's what we learned at that one. Like there's a lot of good ideas out there. It's implementing them and training people to recycle the things that can be recycled and how you recycle them. If you have cardboard and you throw fruit in on top of your cardboard, you have now ruined it, right? It's now dirty. It can't be recycled the way it could be if it was clean cardboard. So there's just a lot of things like that to learn, and there has to be a lot of education. If that circular economy is to ever happen, there needs to be a lot of education. So that was that. I had one more. Newell Recycling Association, if you're interested, if that piqued your interest at all. Their AGM is March 26th at 7 p.m. at the Recycling Association. We would love to see some more representation from the county there. Like, we all get our recycling collected at our transfer stations. You can bring things into the depot. So it would be nice if there was some more representation from outside the city as well. I think that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Questions, Kelly?
Yeah. Lynette, can I get that date again? March 27th and the time?
Sorry, 26th
26th.
at 7 p.m. That's this coming Wednesday.
Yep. Okay, thank you. I have a question around, and you can help me with this if I'm asking the wrong person. The recycling in Bassano has changed. We're hauling in trailers, right? And you've seen our experience. So that is continuing to a lesser degree. Who do I talk to about this to fix this problem? Because I tell you, it's a huge conversation in our municipality when especially, I mean, it's bad enough if you live in town, but when we haul our recycling into town and then can't dispose of it properly, we're taking it back home again. That's very frustrating. So who do I talk to?
Okay, there's been some growing pains because most of this is education, right? Our recycling bins are not for commercial recycling. Commercial businesses are supposed to make their own arrangements for recycling bins, which they can through Smithbrook. They collect cardboard as well. So it's sad to say, but I think it might just take a little while to get everybody educated to where they need to put it and what they need to do. The big roll-off bins, I don't remember what's all in Bassano, but the big roll-off bins are picked up by Newell Regional Solid Waste and taken to Newell Recycling. They're the ones that transport it, but the smaller trailers, that's Newell Recycling picks up those trailers and brings them in or swaps them out, like brings a different trailer and brings it empty and takes the full away and empties it. So there is somebody in every community that communicates with the Recycling Association to let them know when they need to be taking care of their bins. So I can definitely find out who the person is in Bassano that's supposed to be doing that. Maybe we've gotten a disconnect there. Like maybe somebody quit that was supposed to be doing it. I would have to check on that one for you.
And thanks for that clarity, because we have two trailers. One's a roll-off bin, that's the cardboard one, and the other one is the paper, newspapers, so that's a trailer. So there's two separate entities doing these pickups and deliveries. And that explains why it's the cardboard one, or partially explains why the cardboard one is the one that's the frustrating one, because it's a different person picking it up, and there's no communication may be lacking. Okay.
And as well as the communication and the education piece to get the commercial businesses to not be putting into that trailer, right? This all has to do with that EPR program that has come in, that we don't get paid for the commercial stuff. That's always done separately with that EPR program. So it's kind of an interesting program that's not all the way implemented yet after a year and a half.
Yeah, and just imagine the ratepayers don't care about that. All we care about as a ratepayer is the fact that we can or can't recycle, right? And taking it home is not in our vocabulary. I mean, we are so used to being able to deliver the product and be done with it, right? So, yeah, we need to do some work, and I think communications need to be better, and let's work on that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? That's your report. Thank you. Thanks, Lynette. Are there any, I think that's it for the committee reports, other than I do want to give a quick overview of, I got back from Japan on Saturday afternoon. I circulated, Ariana copied the list of people on the trade mission from Calgary and Edmonton Economic Development, who were the leaders of the mission, and then I was attending with Barb Kulek, who's the CEO of Palliser Economic Partnership. Most of the rest of the group were from the Calgary area. Some interesting things we met at and just for detail, Barb is prepared. We haven't completed a formal report, but there is a formal report that will go to PEP, and that can be shared with us at that time. I expect it'll be later this week or next week. So this is more informal, but I just wanted to, well, it's fresh on my mind, I'd share it with you. We met at the embassy for a briefing with the whole group of about probably 30 people, including some from the embassy and the Alberta Trade Office. Just a few of the people that were on. The Sweetgrass Contracting, for example, they sell oats into the Japanese market and have something like 75% of the horse oats market, which amounts to a significant number of containers of oats monthly into that market. Some other smaller producers, Righteous Gelato, they had a booth at FoodX. So what we went there for, I mean, the event we were attending was FoodX, which is probably the biggest food show in Asia. There was like 70 countries represented, and it was big. There was a lot of booth area there from a lot of different countries. Easy to get lost in the shuffle, but I think the Alberta Trade Office has done a good job with and there's profiles of a few of the businesses that were there and had been done pre-work with the Trade Office. Some had booths there, others were there to test the market and see what might be available for the future. One of the important connections was with the Alberta group there and also the Alberta Trade Office, and I think PEP will be looking to engage businesses in southeastern Alberta that might be interested or have opportunity to potentially market in Japan. I mean, there's quite a process for getting export ready. And the Calgary Economic Development Group and Edmonton are keen to help with that. Rochelle Edwards is the community coordinator for the Trade Accelerator Program out of Calgary, and I think that you'll see PEP organize some functions to engage local businesses in that. I think the April Local to Global Conference will be kind of a good springboard off of this as well. Specifically, we spent 2 afternoons in the market looking at the retail market. There's a lot of, Japan is 38% self-sufficient in their food supply, so that leaves 62% is imported. They're big on convenience. There's a lot of small convenience stores with, I say small, but there's a lot of activity in them. Like there's 7-Eleven is common, as our other, you know, non-brand name. And then we attended went to some big retail stores. Also had the opportunity to go to Costco. Costco is growing in Japan, but it's interesting that, you know, convenient, quick, and smaller supply size is really what we think about in Japan. But the Costco store looked a lot like the Costco store in Calgary or Edmonton or Red Deer or Medicine Hat. $1.50 hot dogs, same as in Alberta. That's just an aside. We did see tomatoes from Sunterra in the Costco store in Tokyo. They're delivered there on the same plane we took to get there. Like they weekly deliver tomatoes from Alberta to the Japan market, and they get circulated in Costco. We also saw some sausage from the Sunterra plant in Acme in the Costco store as well. There's a group from Edmonton selling bitters. We did go into a small store that had their bitters displayed, and it was keen for the makers to meet the people retailing their product from Alberta. So there are opportunities, but it doesn't happen accidentally. And I think the Alberta Trade Office and also the economic development organizations in Calgary and Edmonton can be very helpful. So one of the reasons to go is to say, is there an opportunity for businesses in this area to potentially take advantage of that? And I think there is. I think Barb will be keen to organize activities that can engage industries or businesses that might be interested and available. Lots of beer, wine, and spirits marketed in those in that market, and there was a lot of presentation in the FoodX display in that realm, but also a lot of other food products. Interestingly, I was in Japan a number of times 15 years ago with Canada Beef Export Federation, and had kind of the novel opportunity to meet a couple of people that I worked with back then, and it was a good meeting. We recognized each other, and that was unexpected, but it was good to see, or, you know, it was nice to see that. And also Mary Beth Takeo and Lana Leishman with the Alberta government. Lana is in Airdrie, but works as a senior trade development officer for Japan and South Korea. And Mary Beth Takeo is in the market in Japan on an ongoing basis, and there to help make connections. So they're busy with that. Also, the Government of Canada Trade Commissioner, Megan Colpitz, was there and helping to make connections. So it was interesting. Large display also from the U.S., but again, I don't have the measure of this, but there was a number of comments that the U.S. display was a little bit under visited. Just, you know, I think the current trade situation with the U.S. is noted around the world, and we did get comments on that when they knew we were from Canada. So as well as businesses from other provinces, Saskatchewan, BC, and Ontario for sure had businesses there as well. Just an aside, that little Righteous Gelato group from Calgary, understand that they made an arrangement to get into Costco, Japan, that was closed on this mission. So that's interesting for them for sure, and good to see some success. What else was I gonna I saw Be Made there, who I think Philpotts are members of, and I checked that out with them, and they said, yep, we know the Philpotts and also Chandlers from this area. So good to see some connections that are connected back to this area, and I think there's opportunities. None of it's easy, but there's opportunities, we'll see what comes in the future. And this is an ongoing program, and I think also we did get I got some information from agriculture when we were in Edmonton, just about programs that are still there to help businesses get market ready. So that helps to offset some of the costs of travel and getting into those markets. So any questions? That's what comes to my mind or from the notes I had. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, that was interesting. The what'd you say? 32% of they're able to be self-sustaining as far
38
as
is, yeah,
38%. What are we here in Canada, and what kind of exports was it talked about? What kind of exports we're bringing in from Japan also, or was this just what we export to them and opportunities there? Is there a healthy balance between our province, our country, and Japan?
I'm not aware of what our imports would be. There would be some, I suppose, but yeah, 38. They're 38% self-sufficient in food supply. So 62% of their food supply is imported. So they're net importers by a long shot. And I think what's interesting too, what you notice is a lot of people in a small area. Like it's tight, and just in terms of the tour in Costco. What's his name? Paul Maurer understands and can speak Japanese fluently. So his comment was, walking around the Costco store, there was people commenting on how to, learning to use Costco, and you do hear that sometimes, we didn't see any of this, but it's bulk buying like it is here. So they'll buy things and divide them up in the parking lot from time to time. I understand, and we did see cartons going home on bicycles. So it's a broad spectrum of different realities there. But generally, there's a lot of people in a small space. You take this bullet train from downtown Tokyo to the Narita airport, and it's through high-rise, low-rise residential area the whole way, which is no surprise. That's Japan, but it's an interesting market. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah. Any other questions? As I said, I got back, drove into the yard at home 3 hours before I left Tokyo on the airplane. So Saturday, left at 6:30 in the evening and got home at 3:30 on the same day. 3 hours ahead of me. Yeah. Anyway, that's the world clock. So anyway. Pardon me? Division 4 Rec Board. Sorry, I missed that. Right.
That's okay. So we had a rec board meeting, and we have 3 halls and the EID park in Division 4. So each hall got $10,000, and the park got $7,000 for operating and $3,000 for their elevator fund. And as a note of interest, so the Scandia Hall are between our regular insurance and our director's insurance, it's over $7,000 a year. So the wide majority of that money goes to insurance, with a little bit left over for utilities. So as we've talked about before, insurance is a very large issue. And you talked about recycling cardboard, Kelly. I think people do need a course on how to break down cardboard boxes, because that is an ongoing challenge. People just throw their boxes in the bins and don't care how much room they take. So perhaps in signs explaining how to break down a box. I don't know.
Well, if I
Go ahead.
may.
Yep.
So this trailer has openings this big. So you cannot, it's not physically possible to put a whole box into this trailer. They've got the people figured out, and they give you a slot about that wide and about this long. So you have to fold them down.
So if you have a very large box, are you ripping it in pieces? Because some of the larger boxes we have would not fit in that.
That's not my experience, because I guess the slot would be about this long, but it's only about this wide. Yeah. You can fold them down, yeah. Duchess Rosemary, do you have the same trailer at your sites?
Ours is an open one from the last time I checked. Yeah.
Duchess is a little building with flaps, like it is if you come into the Recycling Association building, it's got the little flaps.
Like ours used to be, but now we've gone to this trailer outfit. Yep, okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Thanks, Holly. Let's just talk a little bit about RMA this week. There was some discussion about an announcement that was supposed to be made, and Sandra, we'll check to get the details of that. One of the things that was announced is some change up to the way reporting of bad actors in the oil and gas business. In other words, companies that aren't paying their taxes. I think the pattern has been kind of 3-month reporting, which ends up reporting that information after the fact. Minister McIver did say that they were looking for and now welcoming on-the-spot reporting when a municipality finds out that an oil and gas player is not paying their taxes. They would like immediate reporting of that, and they will immediately visit with AER to stop any further activity by that company. So that's something that has been lobbied for some time, and it's been kind of slow coming, but that is part of it. But we'll check too to see if there was an official announcement past that. We thought there was going to be two, but we didn't actually hear it. But Matt, you can check some of the reporting that comes out of there to just get the details on that. Any questions? Sandra, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Taxpayers, according to some of the reports that are coming out, taxpayers could be on the hook for a lot of this cleanup, which could be in the billions of dollars. Does the county have a concern?
I think that's probably, yeah, if it's going to get downloaded, we'll have a concern, but I don't think that's clear yet exactly how that's going to be, how that's going to play out. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And one more question. I'm just wondering if there is anything, is any money owed to the county this year by any chance in the oil and gas area, or has everybody pretty well paid up?
Yes. There is money owed. Do you have, we can get that.
Could you get me the amount? Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get that. Okay, thank you. Holly, go ahead.
Also at RMA, our resolution opposition to net zero passed with no vocal opposition and 85%. So that was a positive. We also had very productive meetings with both the Minister of the Environment and the Minister of Transportation, and as well as an informal meeting with our Minister of Immigration. And I expect we'll have 2 ministers visiting with us this summer on tours, so that'll be fun and educational.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Matt, please.
Just following up on the request from the press for an amount, it's $455,306.67 in arrears from oil and gas companies owed to the county. March 2025.
And another piece of good news that is late coming too, but the new development that's happened in the last year will this year be able to come onto our assessment. We'll hit the county assessment, so we'll see as of in 2025 we'll see an increased tax assessment for new activity, because they had a three-year holiday on any new, like a lot of the new activity that you see in the area has not hit our tax roll yet. So that'll make a difference too. I'm not sure what that'll look like, but I imagine we've got an assessment of that we'll see at some point too. Yeah. So go ahead.
Then that will be on this year's tax? It'll be reflected this year as opposed to
2025.
next year? Thanks.
Yep. Okay, anything else from RMA? I think that brings us dangerously close to the end of our agenda, other than in camera. Go ahead, Holly.
Under the financial information package, Matt, I'm sure this has been in every year, and it just struck me this year. What is the Bow City Cemetery Perpetual Care Fund? I just never noticed it until this year.
Yeah, so that was taken, I want to say, 3 or 4 years ago from Bow City folks who were looking to offload that. With that came a bank account, and we maintained that. I do not think to date we have received a request for any funds to flow out of that, but those funds are required to be spent on taking care of the Bow City Cemetery. So each year we credit that account for any interest earned, and at the point in time that the community says there are expenses to be paid, we would look at funding those.
Okay, thank you. I think we're done. Is there a motion that we go, someone prepared to make a motion to go in camera? Lynette. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried.